21, 20, 19, 8.
Anxiety, depression, worry, doubt. All those words can be worked out. And that's what I really want you to really take in from this. Work out. Let's work it out. Ready? Let's go. Good afternoon, guys, or good morning. How you doing? My name is Simon Carter, and welcome to the Workout Minister podcast. Yeah. We got to do something where it's like a little boom, boom, boom. All right. But anyway, today's topic is really about monsters, and monsters has been a part of my entire life. And I want to share a little story with you before we get into this monster topic and where did this topic really come from. Monsters. All right, let's go back. In my housing project in Connecticut, which was right outside of New York, there was a huge, I want to say a wooded area. Some people may call it a forest, but to me it was like a jungle. And in that jungle, of course, there was possums, there was raccoons, rats, maybe some snakes. But what they did was, we were in what is called a food desert area where there was no grocery stores, no restaurants, nothing to eat. But on the avenue, on the other side of that wooded area, there was an avenue. That's where all the stores lied at. So what the city did was they created a path. We called it the Black Path. They created a path for our housing projects to go through the wooded area to the stores so we can eat, which was done. I thought that was a great thing to do. But however, what happened was, soon as that Black Path was created, the winos hung back there. Big canisters with wood inside at nighttime. Abandoned cars soon came back there. Drug dealing soon came back there. Prostitutes, everything. I mean, there was chairs back there. There was blankets. There was pillows. There was even mattresses back there. And so before long, I was not afraid of the possums and the raccoons and the rats anymore. Now I started being afraid of all the activity that was conducted on and going on back there. So anyway, that's what happened. Those became the animals, the people, right? And the situations and the things that occurred was horrific to me. I was a little boy, 6, 7 years old. But one day, we're having a cookout. My mother said, I need some sugar. We're running out of sugar, and I need you to go get some sugar for me right now. And it was kind of like dusk. It was getting late. And I knew right then, everybody knew who was there. OMG, I was scared. I was frightened because I had to go in through the Black Path to get to the store. And I had to go through the jungle. And I had to see all the animals, all the monsters that I was terrified of. So, lo and behold, my cousin, Rome, who was also a very brolic, big, scary, been to prison a few times, did a lot of things. He was my cousin. He was my superhero too. Nothing like my father. He wasn't my superhero, but he was just my hero. He was just, he had a lot of respect. He said, I'll take him to the store. Don't worry about it. He grabbed I grabbed him by the hand. He threw my hand away. He grabbed me by the neck. He said, let's go. And then he said, let's go. And then he said, guess what? I hear you scared of monsters. Shyly he said, yeah, I am. He said, well, let's go. Let's go see what monsters are back there. Now, when we went into the Black Path, we go in through our projects. Out of our projects, we get to go to the Black Path. And as soon as we get there, we hear these sound, ooh, and that's the sound when the hustlers, the drug dealers, they said, letting you know somebody coming. And Rome like, what's that? Because he's not from our neighborhood. But they run up to us and they see Rome. Rome is big, and they say, oh, shoot, that's Rome. They all knew Rome. They knew him. And he was just like, what's up? He said, I'm just taking little cuz to the store. And he kept walking. Then the bums and the prostitutes and then the thieves and the guys who break into cars and the guys who break into homes, the hustlers, everybody was like big up in Rome. They was giving them dap. Everybody just sort of like bowed down to this guy. He was like a giant just walking through, like a lion, just walking through the jungle, and everybody was just bowing down. And I was in awe. And then when we got out and got onto the avenue, he looked at me and he leaned over and he dropped down to one knee and he said, anytime you are afraid of monsters, you become a monster. And he pointed his finger in my chest, and you make sure you are the biggest, baddest monster there is. You hear me? And then he said, now let's go. And I never forgot that story. That story stayed with me forever. You know, because it just showed me that if you are scared of something and if you are afraid of something, you got to not only, become that something, but you got to become more powerful than that something to overcome that something. You got to let that something know that it has nothing on you. Even now to this very day, I have kids and my kids are scared. They have their own rooms and they are scared when they're sleeping. Oh, I'm scared. Don't turn out the light. Don't turn out the light. Leave the light on. I don't want to see the monsters. And I sit down and I tell them, listen, I go right next to their bed and I said, you see your arms? You see your chest? You see your legs? You are powerful. Let me see your fist. Make that fist for me. Now hit my hand. And they hit my hand. I said, there's no monster that can beat you. You are the biggest, baddest monster there is. Now let me hear you roar. And they go, Rawr. I said, that's right. Can no monster take you out? You are that monster. They say, yes, I'm that monster. Then I leave that room. I shut that door. And they say, I turn out the light. Do I hear any crying? No. I said, are you scared? They said, no, I'm a monster. And I say, that's it. I've done my job. And I contribute that all to my cousin, Rome. So that's the story. Now let's talk about and go into the monsters in your life. Now I'm here at Lifetime in Garland. And one thing that I'm running into a lot of people, a lot of clients, a lot of potential clients who has monsters in their lives. And sometimes that monster is alcohol. Sometimes that monster is low-key dealing with some medical drug. Or sometimes that monster is food. And people are being punked. They're being sissified by their monsters. They're not rising to the occasion and they're not doing the necessary things they need to do to overcome that monster. That monster is beating them down every single day. You can see it in their eyes, and I'm so thankful and happy that they're still coming to the workouts. But here, this is what I'm telling you right now. Guys, this is what we got to do. We got to identify the monsters in our life, and then we got to gain the necessary strength to overcome our monsters. So food, a lot of us have food as a monster. Some of us don't even want to go by a store, don't even want to go to a certain restaurant or grocery store because they know they're going to give in to their monster. Some people don't even want to go down certain aisles in a grocery store because they know if they go down that aisle, they're going to put that monster in their cart. And I'm telling you right now, here I am, and I'm letting you know, you guys got to monster up. Monster up meaning whatever your monster is, you got to make sure that you got more power than that monster. That's what I'm telling you. We all got monsters. They had monsters in biblical times. Samson. Think about him. The strongest man in the Bible was Samson, right? But Samson, he gave in to his monster. That monster was a woman, Delilah. She gave in to her. You know what I'm saying? That lust. Just that wanting to be loved, wanting to be counseled, wanting to be, coerced. He just wanted to be, caressed. He wanted attention. He wanted affection. But that was his monster, and he gave into it, and he paid for it to this very day. And we got so many more people who got monsters in their lives. I'm telling you, if you go through a life, you go through the story of history and think about people like Michael Jackson, Len Bias. If you don't know who Len Bias is, he was a basketball player. He made it into Boston Celtics. And the day he made it in, he got drafted. And the day he was supposed to go in, he ended up doing crack and he died right then. Len Bias, he had a monster. OMG. And I'm telling you right now, you got to overcome your monsters. And the best way to overcome your monster is to be a bigger monster. So I say monster up. We all got a monster up, guys. Whatever you're going through, whatever your monster is, identify it, recognize it, and then monster up and overcome it. And that's what we all gotta do. And we gotta stop letting these monsters, you know, put us in the corner and letting the monster put the blanket over our head, and we scared of that monster and we don't even want to see the monster. OMG. You guys are terrified of the monsters. But I'm gonna tell you what God did. God has put something in your heart. He's put something in your mind. He's put something in your body to give you the courage and understanding and recognize that you have more control and you have more power than any monster who ever come up against you. Because God said, I would never put a burden on you that you cannot bear. So that means there will never be a burden. There will never be a barrier. There will never be an obstacle. And there will never be a monster that's in front of you that you can't handle. You just gotta believe, man. You gotta believe it, and then you gotta actually execute on that belief. A lot of people talk about they believe, but they don't execute on that belief, and we gotta stop that right now. We are playing weak because we letting these monsters overcome and take control of our lives. And I'm telling you right now, we gotta stand up and say no more. You gotta stand up and say no more. You overweight. You got diabetes, you got hypertension, you got stress, you got heart problems, you're taking pills, you're drinking alcohol, you're eating too much. You gotta say no more. I'm not doing that. I'm going the straight and narrow. I'm doing the things I need to be doing. And I'm staying away from the things I need to stay away from. And then we ask ourselves, oh my gosh, I gotta have some fun. I gotta do something. Okay, you can have some fun, but don't have no fun with your monsters. We don't have fun with our monsters, man. Once you identify and know what your monsters is, you gotta be like, yo, that's the enemy right there. That's my monster. You don't sit in bed with your monster, man. You put your monster in a cage and you lock it in and you going to do 25 to life right now. You away from me. I'm not conducting business with you anymore. So once you identify your monster, become stronger than it, and then lock your monster away. Once you become stronger than your monster, you take that monster and boom, cage it. To let it never see the light of day again. It's done. It's dead. It's gone. That's what we gotta do. And that's what I need everybody to do today. This is a call to arms right now. This is a call to like, yo, listen, I'm monstering up right now. I'm doing everything I possibly can to be the biggest, the baddest, and the strongest, the most powerful monster in my life. Not in everybody else's life. We're not worried about everybody else. We're just worried about ourselves. And we got to monster up. There should be nothing in your life more powerful than you except your creator. And guess what? Your creator's not a monster. He's a savior. He's the one pulling you through, and he's the one giving you the strength and the ability to see the monsters in your life, and he's giving you the power to become the ultimate strong monster to overcome all your other monsters. And when you overcome all your other monsters, guess what? You don't gotta be no monster no more. You can be like, yo, I changed my monster ways. I'm no longer a monster. I'm like my creator. I'm a savior. I'm not a monster. That's what you do. But when you got monsters in your life, you got to monster up. Because you can try as hard as you want to be casual with that monster. And guess what's going to happen? You're going to become a casualty. That's what's going to happen. When you fighting a monster, you better monster up. Ask the police. Ask the police what they did when they go against criminals. When the police get criminals, they get the big boys, they call them. They call them the big boys. The big boys are the DTs. The DTs are the detectives. The detectives is just as wild and as crazy as the people they tracing. They crazy too. And they armed to the T. And they got it all and they ready to fight. They hound dogs. And them hound dogs go hard. And that's what I'm telling you right now. When you have some monsters in your life, man, you got to monster up, man. Because you ain't going to win trying to be a regular person. So now that we got that out the way, and now that you truly understand what it is you need to do in order to win this game of life, you know what I'm saying? To win this life that we live in, because that's not long. We got 80, 85, hopefully 95 years. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully 70 is done. And we living longer than that. People still working at 70. So we got 85, 95 years, right? And we want to be strong in those 95 years. You better right now, if you want to be 95 and still kicking it and still going, if you want to be 65, 55, 75, 80 and still going, you better get rid of those monsters. You better monster up. If not, you're going to be a casualty. You're going to be, you gone. I'm telling you right now, I can't skate around it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's going to take you out. So the food that we eat, monster up. All right. The smoking, the drinking, monster up. You know, if we hanging out too late at night, monster up. If we watching too much TV, monster up. If we being lust, we got lust and we create adultery and fornication, monster up. If we spending money in a way where we shouldn't be spending money, if we making the money in a way we shouldn't be making money, monster up. Whatever you doing that's hindering your progress, that's hurting your health, that's really messing you up mentally, monster up. Don't be weak. Don't say, oh, I can't monster up because, you know, I got health issues. Oh, I can't monster up because, you know, for whatever reason. You got to be stronger than your strongest excuse. Because I'm going to tell you right now, monsters don't care. Monsters do not care. They don't care about the weather. They don't care about the time. They don't care about the season. They don't care about the time of month, ladies. They don't care about your back problems. They don't care about your knee problems. They don't care about if you got, you know, some injury. They gonna take over and they gonna rule. So you better be ready for this monstering up, you know, challenge I'm giving you right now. This is the Monster Up challenge that everybody has to contribute to because it's going to save you. It's not no challenge for me. I'm a trainer, right? But I'm not doing this for me. I'm doing it for you. I want you to rise to the occasion, monster up, and win at this game called life. You know what I'm saying? Win. Don't lose. And don't be casual. And don't be no victim to the monsters in your life. Monster up, man. Rise to the occasion. But remember what I said. You can't rise to the occasion. You only can rise to the level of your training. So, monsters, it's time to train. Conduct yourself accordingly. Make sure you're ready, because the fight is not external. It's internal. It's inside of you. So you got to really say, am I ready? You know what I'm saying? Am I ready to be decisive and not indecisive? Am I ready to be, you know, factual and direct? Not with people out there, because you want to do it with other people, but you got to ask yourself, are you ready really? Are you ready to do it with yourself? Check yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, who are my monsters? Am I ready to monster up to them? I'm not going to turn away from this. I'm going to stay right engaged and right focused, and I'm going to be on point. Not with just anybody else, with myself, man. And that's it, guys. That's what I want you to do. Today, now is the time. Go in the mirror, look yourself in the mirror, and say, yo, I'm the biggest, baddest monster in here. And no longer am I hiding underneath the covers like a little child. No longer is I'm going to act like those monsters don't exist. You know how you try to act like a bully don't exist? Oh, that's nothing, man. No, that's just Chaz, man. Chaz is cool. He all right. Don't worry about him. He just play like that. You done that. We all done that before. Don't worry about it. Adrienne always acts like that. She always says stuff like that. She's fine. So no more of that. No more disrespect. No more just casually putting things and putting behavior to the side. No, we got to be on point right now. On point. You're on point with your children. You're on point with your people that you manage. You're on point with, you know, some other people that you probably underneath you who weaker than you. You're on point with them, right? So now you got to be on point with yourself. You got to lead yourself. Are you a trainer? You got to train yourself. Are you a leader? You got to lead yourself. Are you a director? You got to direct yourself. Are you an employer? You got to employ yourself. You got to be the first CEO. You got to be the first founder. You got to found yourself. You're founding. You know what founders do? They lay the foundation. Are you laying the foundation for you? You got to ask yourself that. And that's what's important. If not, those monsters going to come. They not going. They waiting to see that very moment that you're gonna be weak again, and they're gonna keep coming. And every time you keep eating that food, every time you keep giving in to that monster, you're gonna feel like a little weak boy. What do they do with dogs? They neuter them. They neuter the dogs. That's what's happening to you, man. You're being neutered every time you give in. You're being neutered. You know what I'm saying? You don't want. Oh man, you're gonna walk around with your tail between your legs. I see it. I see it all the time. Shaking some guy hand. He can't. His hand weak. Handshake is so weak. Or some guys compensate and try to make it strong, and they know but their eyes is so weak. I can see it. You giving me a strong handshake, but you can't even look me in the eye. Because you think somebody told you, yo, make sure you shake his hand strong, but you can't even look him in the eye. Because you know why? Because you can't really even look yourself in the eye. The masturbation, the cigarettes at night, come on, man. You're supposed to be deaning. You're supposed to be on your dean. You're supposed to be baptized. You're supposed to be born again. You're supposed to have made your salats. And you're still being weak. You're still drinking. You're still smoking. You're still sleeping around. You're still doing the things that you know you're not supposed to be doing. You're still being ruled, ran, and scared by your monsters. And I'm telling you right now, today is today that we stop that. And let's do it. Let's do it together. Let's all make a pact. Make a pact to yourself. Make a pact to God. Make a pact to your family that, you know what? I'm fighting these monsters tooth and nail. And I'm not only going to fight, I'm going to overcome, and I'm going to win. And I'm destroying, I'm murdering, I'm executing, strangling every monster that's in my life. And I'm going to win. And I'm going to breathe free. I'm going to breathe the fresh air of life, and I'm going to excel, and I'm going to transcend the gravitational pull of the negativity that these monsters they've been locking me down in, and I'm overcoming it. And OMG, I'm doing something more powerful. I'm doing something stronger. I'm doing something more intelligent. I'm doing something more wiser. And I'm becoming that person that I know I can be, that person that God has created and has given me glimpses of in my DNA. And I've seen it, and I'm rising to the occasion, and I'm being that person because I've gotten rid of all my mind. Congratulations, guys. Let's do that today. Let's be that person today. Let's be that one. Let's be the biggest, baddest, strongest monster in our lives. All right. So I hope everybody is on point, and I hope everybody execute the things that they need to execute. And if you need help, if you need assistance, DM me, text me, contact me. I will sit down and I will help you. I will help you, create and devise a plan to get rid of each and every monster in your life. We will do it together. We will identify all the monsters, and then we'll look at their weaknesses, and then we'll come up with a strategy to make sure do we take advantage of every weak point that these monsters have. So if you smoking, what's the weak thing that the smoker has on you? Where's their weakness at? Their weakness is they cost a lot of money. All right. So we don't want that. They make you smell bad. So we don't want that. We find it. We don't want that. We got to find out what's our purpose. What's our reason? That's just one area. That's a monster though. Alcohol. What's another thing that makes me feel bad? It doesn't make me look good. It's going to take away my youthfulness. There's so many things that makes monsters weak, and we're going to find them, and then we're going to execute it, and we're going to win. It's all about winning. So make sure you're a winner in your life. Make sure you're the biggest monster. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it's good for you. Hope it's great for you. Subscribe. Let's keep going. The only thing I want to do is help you elevate and excel and transcend anything that you're going through. You are better than, and you can overcome. And you got to be the person that you've seen glimpses of. We've all seen it when we close our eyes. One time in our life, we've seen that person that we can become. So I'm telling you right now, close your eyes and see it. Open your eyes and be it by any means necessary. That's Incorrect Principles with God. All right. There's no cheating. There's no shortcuts. There is no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. Deuces.